Hello everybody, I'm Katie Whitledge, the founder of Be Inspired Salon, and I'm here today with our Master Stylist, Anna Thompson. Anna joined Be Inspired Salon 1 month after we opened, so she is our veteran, and today I'm excited to have you get to know her and learn about her journey, and today is all about celebrating Anna and her 9 years with Be Inspired Salon. So, hello Anna.
Hi.
Well, look at how we met. Tell everybody how you even heard about Be Inspired Salon.
So Katie actually did my mom's hair in beauty school, and I was like in high school or something. I didn't really think much of it. And she actually heard about Katie because she worked with Katie's sister. So it's a small world.
Mm-hmm.
And then I graduated high school and went to beauty school, and my mom I was looking for a salon that I could be like my home salon, and I didn't want to work somewhere where I just like kind of bounced around. And growing up, I didn't go to salons. So my mom was a cosmetologist, and I didn't really know about salons in Madison. So she's like, check out Katie, she's opening a salon. And I was like, okay, I'll go over there.
Where did you go to beauty school?
I went to the Institute of Beauty and Wellness, a Veda school in Milwaukee, down in like the 3rd Ward area.
I think that I just got you. When I met you, I just felt like I get this girl. And yeah, so tell us about the beginning of your journey at the salon and just how your career developed.
Yeah, so when I worked, I didn't have an off day. Katie would say, you can have this day off, and then she'd call at like 9, like, so I booked you at 11:30, can you come in? So we did all, like, it was me, Katie, and another stylist, so we did like everything. We answered the phones, we checked people out, we cleaned on our hands and knees on the floor. We were like everything. We didn't really have salon. We had salon hours, but if people came in like, I can't come in until this time, we would stay open, we would come in early, kind of anything. And then we started gaining on our team and I actually got like an off day eventually. But yeah, we kind of did every task thinkable at the salon.
You absolutely have special relationships. It's been incredible to see with your guests and just the team. It's not always been easy.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about some of the challenges and obstacles you would never guess you'd face.
I am a mom of 3 now. I also have a stepdaughter, and prior to that I was married, and I lost my first husband 4 years ago this month. So just having like a clientele to like stick with me through that. I worked like part-time nights. I'm not gonna get emotional, actually. I was emotional, I've been emotional, but I'm gonna hold it up. So I worked part-time like nights, mm-hmm. and that was like really an eye-opening time, because I've always had like a strong work ethic since like 14, power hard, we opened the salon, power hard, and then to like have your clientele like, okay, I'm gonna work 2 nights a week, that's it, 4 to 8 for the next like 18 months, was really hard for me, because I had, I think, a lot of like ownership in my own self-worth, like in being a hairdresser behind the chair, and like what does that look like now for my life to like change a little bit, was like really eye-opening. And just like as I gotten older, like different values set in of like my family, and like times of like big reflection when you're taking a step back from the chair. But I never left the chair. Like that was like my only outlet to like breathe, was being with my guests at nighttime a few days a week, and leaving my kids and just being in that moment.
Tell us some of the best accomplishments since being behind the chair.
I think the ability to like first like build a huge clientele, I think, is really rewarding. When I first started the career, I'm like, I'm gonna do like fashion show hair and do all this stuff, and I was like, eh. Once I start like developing relationships with people more personally, that was like a huge just like growth moment, to actually have like, you can't see Anna for X amount of weeks. So I think that was like a huge accomplishment. And then just being able to like evolve and do like more education, like going out to Vidal Sassoon Academy for like a week in California and just like honing my skills. Those are some big accomplishments that you just, when you're in the industry, you're like, oh, that's cool. But then when you actually like think about the accomplishments and like what you put your time into, I think that's been like really rewarding when you like reflect back on stuff that you've done or traveled to go see different academies and things like that. I think is pretty rewarding. Katie sent me on a trip last year to go to Atlanta to meet Candy Shaw. She's pretty powerful in the industry because I'm a cutter at heart, so color comes second. But I went for hair cutting and I went out there and learned all about it, and I just fell in love with like the culture, the things they're going, like that southern vibe even too. I know that resonates, Dave. And I came back and I was super fired up, and she had a training program, educators on her team. And I was like, that would be really cool to bring to the Midwest. I feel like in the Midwest too, we lack a lot of education because we do have Chicago, but like we're not big name up here. And I think a lot of education is needed in the Midwest. And just to be a part of her team and a culture, also conjoined with a team here and bringing that education to the salon. So I kind of fell into that. And just like a new step in my career, it's a lot of times when you're like this progressed in your career. I've been here 9 years, licensed 10 years, so you're kind of like people that either leave or like find a new outlet, and I just was like, this is something that I could see myself doing, especially getting an assistant and being like a mentor. I feel like stepping into that role was like I was ready for that. Yeah. I've had enough knowledge in the industry. I feel like I know what I'm talking about, and I have a lot more confidence. I mean, even a few years ago I would not be sitting here doing this video, just talking more open about the industry. So that kind of launched into balayage and educating. It wasn't necessarily about the balayage. I think when you become an educator, you're there to like inspire others and grow others. I don't really think it's about the technical
is the vehicle.
Yeah, it's not about like what you're necessarily teaching or what you're doing, but just like reaching other people in different seasons of life, which I think was something I could live out.
Well, and for people watching who may not really totally get the balayage movement, or maybe they think, oh, that's just a service for young girls with long hair. Tell us about balayage and who is it a great fit for?
I would say anybody. Balayage is more a technique, not a look. So you're actually painting the hair versus putting like foils in. So it's basically an art form that you're painting. You could paint that long balayage that people see in the ends. I use it for like gray cover up. You can paint it all the way to the scalp, so you can get a highlight look. So it's definitely, balayage is like the power of what sets you apart, I think, in the industry. I honestly feel like if you're not hand painting in a few years, it's not going to be great for you behind the chair, because when you have so many salons, we're not really competing, but there's so many salons around you, like what sets you apart as a stylist. And when you're foiling hair, I feel like you can get that down the street. Everyone knows how to put a foil in, but no one has your hand and no one has your brush stroke. It's so individualized. It's like painting a canvas. Yeah. So
you did mention as a master stylist, now you do have the opportunity to mentor. You've had one full successful year mentoring a new protege stylist. You're on now to another year with a new protege stylist. Tell us a bit about what's so fulfilling in that opportunity to mentor somebody new to the industry.
Yeah, I really like having an assistant. I think it's more like beyond the technique of actually cutting hair. I think a lot of times when young stylists come out, it's like how you talk to people, how you build relationships, how do you talk to most of the time the people in your chair that aren't 20, they're moms, they're this, like how do you form that connection, and how do you have like a lasting connection? So how teaching my mentors like how to transform a look, how to keep a client, like a few visits is fine to keep a client, years is hard to keep a client, right? So that's been really fun to see them succeed behind the chair.
Yeah, and when people come to Be Inspired Salon and they have this opportunity to work with somebody like yourself, maybe they'd be intimidated. What would be a message you'd want to share for stylists who are fresh into the industry? What could they expect about their, I guess, growth? Where should their mindset be knowing that they are new? And then what would you want to just say to encourage them in that process?
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about that a lot, especially since we live in Wisconsin and we've lessened our hours for cosmetologists when they graduate now. I think people are ready to like jump in. When I graduated beauty school, I'm like, I know everything. I'm gonna show up and cut some hair, and I'm like there day 2, and I'm like, okay, I don't really know much. But I think there's different roads for people. I think being a stylist right away is great for some people, but assistant, I mean, when you go over to like overseas, or a lot of their programs to cut hair is like 5 years. They don't get like a certification in 1 year. They have to go to school for a lot longer. So I feel like it has to be the right fit for you, but you learn so much in 1 year. And people are like, oh, that's so long. I mean, the time goes by so fast in 1 year, and you're putting out work. When you go to a salon, I feel like there's more trust that's happening for the guests that come in. They know that you've worked with a master stylist. Your books are filled faster, which I've seen. And just building their confidence up behind the chair, I feel like it's really intimidating when you first start out, and a guest can feel that. But if you've been working around people and just building like relationships and a culture with other stylists that are around you, I think it really like propels you to deliver work that took me a lot longer to produce in a faster amount of time.
I'm curious, you're 9 years in, you have all these amazing things that have happened in the last year. What do the next couple years look like for you? What are you excited about?
Educating is one. And having my assistant alongside me, I think, helps me also too. Yeah, basically still keeping my clientele and just social media. I would say social media too.
All right, everybody. Well, you heard it here. Anna, thank you for joining me and for talking with everybody about your journey. It's been really special to see, and I love you, and I hope for many more years.